When you picture a senior living alone, what comes to mind? For many people, the image is one of loneliness, silence, or even fragile health. But what if I told you that these assumptions are not always true? In fact, countless studies and real-life stories reveal a surprising truth. Many seniors who live alone are not only surviving, but actually thriving. Yes, you heard that right. Living independently in the later years of life can bring more happiness and health benefits than most people realize. Think about it. After spending decades raising families, working long hours, and meeting responsibilities, many seniors finally reach a stage where they can shape their days exactly as they please. No more compromises, no more constant demands, just the freedom to choose. This freedom, far from being a burden, can actually create joy, peace, and even measurable improvements in health. Researchers from Harvard, for instance, discovered that seniors who maintain independence and social engagement while living alone often report higher life satisfaction compared to those who feel dependent or restricted in group settings. That means solitude does not equal sadness, it can equal strength. Take the story of Mary Thompson, a 74-year-old retired nurse from Denver, Colorado. After her husband passed away, friends worried she would spiral into isolation. But Mary surprised everyone, including herself. She joined a local walking club, started cooking meals she loved, without needing to compromise on what others wanted, and even took up painting. "I feel like I've rediscovered myself," she said with a laugh. "These years are mine now, and I'm happier than I've been in decades." Mary's story is not an exception. It's part of a growing trend across America, where seniors living alone are reporting more satisfaction with life, stronger resilience, and even better physical health. So why does this happen? Why do seniors who live alone often find themselves healthier and happier than society expects? The answers may surprise you. In this video, we'll uncover 5 powerful reasons supported by science and real-life experiences. We'll explore how independence boosts health, how solitude can strengthen the mind, and how freedom in daily choices creates joy. Each story and fact will challenge what you think you know about aging. And by the end, you may discover that living alone in the golden years isn't a sentence of loneliness, it's an opportunity for renewal, vitality, and even unexpected happiness. Are you ready to see these surprising truths unfold? Stay with us until the very end, because what you learn today could change the way you think about aging, independence, and what it truly means to live well after 70. Number 1. Health benefits of living alone. One of the most overlooked facts about aging is that living alone can actually encourage better health habits. While some assume that solitude might lead to neglect, research shows the opposite for many seniors. A 2021 study published in the Journal of Aging and Health found that seniors who lived independently were more likely to cook balanced meals, maintain exercise routines, and attend regular medical checkups compared to those living in dependent situations. Why? Because independence creates accountability. When you know your well-being rests in your own hands, you're more motivated to take charge of your health. Think about simple daily routines, choosing what to eat, when to go for a walk, how often to see the doctor. These small decisions add up, and they form habits that support long-term wellness. Seniors who live alone often structure their days in ways that maximize energy and minimize stress. For example, many prefer morning walks for fresh air and sunlight, a habit shown by Mayo Clinic researchers to boost vitamin D levels and reduce the risk of depression. These are the kinds of things that, over time, create not just survival, but vitality. Take Robert Miller, a 78-year-old retired teacher from Austin, Texas. After his wife passed, his children encouraged him to move in with one of them. But Robert made a different choice. He stayed in his own home. Every morning, he prepares a healthy breakfast of oatmeal, fresh fruit, and black coffee. He does 30 minutes of light stretching, then takes a brisk walk around his neighborhood. Twice a week, he attends a Tai Chi class at the local community center. His doctor was amazed. Robert's blood pressure improved, his cholesterol dropped, and his mobility remained strong. "I thought I'd fall apart without someone around," Robert admitted. "Instead, I've discovered I'm stronger than I ever realized." The scientific evidence supports Robert's story. According to the National Institute on Aging, seniors who live independently often report higher levels of physical activity compared to those in nursing homes. They also have lower risks of obesity and cardiovascular disease when they maintain control over diet and exercise. These findings counter the stereotype that seniors living alone are frail. Instead, they show that autonomy fosters resilience. It's important to note that living alone doesn't mean living in isolation. Many independent seniors actively participate in community programs, group exercises, or church gatherings. These interactions, combined with self-directed health habits, create a balance of social engagement and personal responsibility. It's this balance that makes seniors not only healthier, but also more confident in their daily lives. So when people assume that seniors living alone are at risk of poor health, the truth is often the opposite. Independence can be a powerful motivator to stay fit, eat well, and keep moving, things most essential for healthy aging. Number 2, psychological strength and happiness. One of the greatest myths about seniors living alone is that solitude inevitably leads to sadness or despair. Yet psychological research suggests the opposite. Independence often strengthens the mind and cultivates deeper happiness. A 2020 study from the University of Michigan found that seniors who lived alone but maintained active social choices, calling friends, joining clubs, volunteering, reported higher levels of psychological resilience than those who felt constrained by living with relatives or in assisted facilities. In other words, when seniors choose solitude on their own terms, they build confidence, self-reliance, and emotional strength. The key lies in the concept of autonomy. Psychologists have long agreed that autonomy is one of the pillars of mental well-being. Having the freedom to make decisions about what to eat, when to rest, which hobbies to pursue, gives seniors a sense of control. This control reduces feelings of helplessness, which are often linked to depression in older adults. Studies from the American Psychological Association also show that seniors who live alone by choice report lower stress levels compared to those who feel pressured into shared arrangements. Take the story of Linda Garcia, a 72-year-old widow from Phoenix, Arizona. After her husband passed away, her children begged her to move into her daughter's home. But Linda politely declined. She knew she wanted to stay in her own apartment, close to her church and her lifelong friends. At first, everyone feared she would become lonely. Instead, Linda thrived. She joined a book club, began gardening on her balcony, and even started mentoring younger nurses in her community. "Living alone gives me peace of mind," Linda explained. "I can cry when I need to, laugh when I want to, and fill my time with things that matter to me. I'm not lonely, I'm free." Psychologists describe Linda's experience as positive solitude, the idea that time alone, when used intentionally, fosters self-discovery and emotional strength. Instead of feeling abandoned, many seniors report that living alone gives them room to reconnect with themselves, rebuild identities beyond caregiving roles, and rediscover joy in small things. For Linda, it was gardening. For others, it might be music, painting, or simply enjoying morning coffee without interruption. And here's something fascinating. Seniors who embrace independence also tend to develop stronger coping strategies. According to the Journal of Gerontology, those living alone reported being more adaptable to life's challenges, whether financial, emotional, or health-related. They're used to managing things on their own, which builds psychological stamina, an essential ingredient for happiness in later life. By now, you might be realizing that seniors living alone are not simply surviving, they're building resilience, finding joy, and rewriting what it means to age well. But let me pause here and ask you, are you still with me? If you are still watching at this point, type number 2 in the comments below. That way, I'll know you're engaged and ready to uncover even more surprising truths. And while you're at it, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel Golden Age Wisdom, and share it with someone who needs this message today. Because what comes next will surprise you even more. How daily habits shaped by independence can transform not just the body, but the spirit. Number 3, daily habits and independence. Daily habits might sound like small things, but for seniors who live alone, they become the foundation of independence and well-being. Research consistently shows that structured routines are linked to better physical and mental health outcomes. A study published in the Journal of Behavioral Medicine revealed that seniors who maintained consistent daily activities, like regular sleep schedules, balanced meals, and light exercise, experienced 25% lower rates of cognitive decline compared to those with irregular habits. Independence gives older adults the flexibility to build these healthy routines without compromise or external pressure. For seniors living with family or in assisted facilities, daily life often means adapting to others' schedules, eating when meals are served, waking when caretakers arrive, or following structured group activities. While this can provide support, it sometimes limits personal freedom. By contrast, living alone allows seniors to align their habits with their natural rhythms. For example, some prefer a slow morning with meditation or prayer before breakfast, while others might feel more energized by starting the day with a brisk walk. These small freedoms create a sense of ownership that directly contributes to mental satisfaction. Take the case of George Allen, a 76-year-old retired mechanic from Columbus, Ohio. George has always been an early riser. Living alone, he's free to stick with his preferred routine. At 6 a.m., he makes a cup of green tea, spends 15 minutes stretching, then takes his dog Max for a walk. Afterward, he enjoys preparing a hearty breakfast of eggs and whole-grain toast, something his late wife never cared much for, but he loves. It may seem simple, George says with a smile, but being able to design my mornings exactly the way I want makes me feel alive. It gives me purpose. His doctor notes that George's blood sugar and blood pressure remain impressively stable, thanks in part to his consistent routines. Scientific data supports George's experience. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, seniors who build daily routines that include physical activity, balanced meals, and adequate rest are significantly more likely to maintain mobility and independence into their late 70s and 80s. Habits like walking daily or preparing fresh meals don't just improve health markers, they also provide structure and meaning to the day, which combats feelings of emptiness or boredom. Another often overlooked benefit of daily independence is mental stimulation. Seniors who live alone often take on small but important responsibilities, paying bills, managing groceries, or scheduling appointments. These activities, while routine, engage memory, decision-making, and problem-solving skills. Neuroscience research from Stanford University suggests that staying mentally engaged through everyday responsibilities can help slow down age-related cognitive decline. So, far from being monotonous, daily habits formed in solitude can actually become a powerful tool for health and happiness. Independence allows seniors to embrace routines that reflect who they are, keep their bodies active, and sharpen their minds. What might look like just another day from the outside is, in reality, the very backbone of thriving in the golden years. Number 4. Resilience and problem solving in old age. When seniors live alone, challenges inevitably arise, whether it's fixing a leaking faucet, managing bills, or handling unexpected health scares. But here's the surprising truth. Facing these challenges independently often builds resilience and sharper problem-solving skills. A study from the Gerontological Society of America reported that seniors who lived independently demonstrated higher adaptability scores when confronted with sudden life changes compared to those in dependent living arrangements. Independence forces resourcefulness, and resourcefulness builds confidence. Resilience is not just about toughing it out. Psychologists define it as the ability to bounce back from adversity. Seniors who live alone tend to practice this daily. They develop strategies to overcome obstacles, from learning how to use technology for grocery delivery to setting medication reminders on their phones. These adaptive skills don't just solve immediate problems, they also strengthen mental flexibility, which is a crucial factor in slowing cognitive decline. Consider the story of Eleanor Brooks, an 81-year-old from Portland, Oregon. A few years ago, she faced a power outage that lasted 3 days during a winter storm. Instead of panicking, Eleanor calmly pulled out her camping lanterns, layered up with blankets, and even prepared hot meals using a portable gas stove she had kept from her late husband's fishing trips. "Living alone has taught me not to wait for someone else to solve things," Eleanor explained. "I prepare, I adapt, and I keep moving forward." Her neighbors were so impressed that they began coming to her for advice during emergencies. Eleanor turned what could have been a frightening experience into an empowering one, reinforcing her self-reliance. Data backs up Eleanor's experience. According to a study published in the Journal of Applied Gerontology, seniors who manage independent households develop stronger executive functioning skills, like planning, organizing, and decision-making, compared to those who rely heavily on caregivers. This doesn't mean life is always easy, but the act of solving problems enhances both confidence and mental health. Another hidden benefit of resilience is emotional stability. Seniors living alone often learn how to manage stress with healthier coping mechanisms. Instead of depending on others, they may practice mindfulness, engage in hobbies, or stay socially connected through community activities. These habits create a sense of mastery over life, which is directly linked to happiness in older age. So, when outsiders worry that living alone makes seniors vulnerable, the evidence shows the opposite. Independence can transform obstacles into opportunities for growth. Resilience becomes not just a survival tool, but a source of pride and empowerment in the golden years. And before we move on, let me ask you, are you still following along with me at this point? If yes, type number 4 in the comments below. That way I'll know you're still engaged. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Golden Age Wisdom, and share it with friends or family who need this uplifting message about aging with strength. Because up next, we'll explore something even more heartwarming, the unexpected joys and freedoms that only living alone can bring. Number 5, unexpected joys and freedom. When people think about seniors living alone, they often imagine silence and solitude. Yet, one of the most surprising realities is that independence can bring unexpected joys and a profound sense of freedom. According to a 2022 survey by the AARP, nearly 68% of seniors living alone reported feeling more content with their daily lives than they had anticipated. The top reasons? Freedom of choice, the ability to pursue personal passions, and the simple joy of peace and quiet when needed. Living alone allows seniors to rediscover activities and pleasures that might have been neglected during earlier stages of life. Some pick up old hobbies like painting, knitting, or gardening. Others finally explore passions they never had time for, like writing memoirs, traveling, or even learning new technology. Psychologists call this the renewal effect, the idea that freedom in older age can spark creativity and personal growth. Far from being limiting, solitude becomes a doorway to exploration. Take the story of Henry Davis, a 79-year-old retired firefighter from Tampa, Florida. For decades, Henry's life was filled with responsibility, raising children, supporting his wife, and working long shifts at the fire station. After retiring and later losing his spouse, Henry suddenly found himself alone. At first, he feared the silence. But soon, he began to embrace it. He bought a small fishing boat, something he had always dreamed of but never pursued while raising a family. Now, he spends mornings on the water, casting lines and watching the sunrise. I thought being alone meant being lonely, Henry reflected. But it actually means I get to live the life I once only imagined. These days are a gift. Science supports Henry's joyful discovery. A study from the University of Chicago found that seniors living alone who engaged in fulfilling activities reported higher levels of life satisfaction and lower risks of depression compared to those who had limited freedom in group living environments. Freedom to shape one's environment, schedule, and hobbies contributes directly to emotional well-being. This autonomy fosters a sense of meaning, which psychologists argue is one of the strongest predictors of happiness in later life. Freedom also means seniors can structure their social interactions on their own terms. Instead of being passively surrounded by people, they can choose when and how to connect, through phone calls, church gatherings, or lunch dates with friends. This choice-driven socialization often leads to deeper, more fulfilling relationships, rather than surface-level interactions. Perhaps the most beautiful part of unexpected joys is the sense of peace that comes with them. Seniors often describe the freedom of living alone as a return to themselves, a chance to enjoy quiet mornings, pursue passions, and celebrate small victories without judgment. It's not just about being free from responsibility, it's about being free to finally live authentically. For many, these golden years spent alone become the richest years of their lives. Final conclusion. So, after walking through all these stories, research findings, and lived experiences, what can we really conclude about seniors who live alone? The answer is both surprising and inspiring. Living alone in the golden years is not the lonely, unhealthy path that society often imagines. Instead, for many seniors, it's a season of renewed health, stronger resilience, and deeper happiness than they ever thought possible. From the health benefits of independence, to the psychological strength built through autonomy, to the daily habits that bring structure, the resilience honed by challenges, and the unexpected joys of freedom, these things combine to show us a powerful truth. Solitude in later life is not a curse, but a gift. Let's remember the voices we've heard along the way. Robert from Austin used his independence to stay physically fit and surprise his doctor with healthier results. Linda from Phoenix found psychological strength and joy by filling her days with meaningful activities. George from Columbus thrived by shaping daily habits that matched his natural rhythm. Eleanor from Portland showed us resilience and problem-solving skills that turned emergencies into empowering experiences. And Henry from Tampa discovered unexpected joy and freedom through the passions he finally had time to pursue. Each story proves that living alone can be not just manageable, but fulfilling. Science supports these real-life accounts. Multiple studies confirm that autonomy fuels health, purpose, and happiness in seniors' older populations. After decades of caregiving, working, and sacrificing, living alone offers seniors the chance to put themselves first, to eat the foods they enjoy, adopt habits they must maintain, and shape lives that reflect who they truly are. These are not small things, they are the foundation of thriving in old age. Of course, living alone is not without challenges. But what we've seen is that challenges often lead to growth. Seniors learn to avoid unhealthy routines, build resilience, and discover coping strategies that not only sustain them, but strengthen them. And perhaps most importantly, they prove to themselves, and to society, that aging alone does not mean aging without joy, vitality, or connection. It means aging on your own terms. So now, I want to turn the question to you: how do you see independence in your own golden years? Do you believe, after hearing these stories and data, that living alone could actually be an empowering choice? If you've stayed with me until this point, I want to thank you for being part of this journey. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your story, your fears, or your hopes in the comments section below. Before you go, please do 3 simple things that mean the world to this community. Like this video, subscribe to our channel Golden Age Wisdom, and share it with a friend or loved one who needs to hear this message. Together, we can change the way people think about aging and independence, and inspire seniors everywhere to embrace their golden years with strength, joy, and confidence. Because aging isn't about fading away, it's about shining brighter, even when you're standing on your own.